Woo! Going live on a Monday before the holidays. Ah! Anyways, what's up? Welcome to
I'm glad that you can bring that energy. I'm here. I'm the flip
Yay!
side of the holiday celebration where you can't quite
Wait,
see it, but it's a
wait.
dumpster fire. Yeah.
There
I
you
have,
go.
it's a dumpster fire that says merry and bright. I picked this one on purpose. I bought it winter of 2020 and it continues to be applicable. So we're the two extremes of the holiday season right now. This is not a bah humbug. This is just, I'm tired.
Well, I was
Big
gonna say, is this
difference.
almost like we're Heat Miser and
Cold
like
Miser. Yeah.
yeah.
You've got the color scheme
It's
for
just not
Cold Miser, and I have the fire.
uh
I'm Mr. Green
Heat.
Christmas. I'm Mr. Sun.
I was gonna say
I'm Mr. Heat Blister. I'm Mr.
Mr.
101. Yeah, I do
we
know the whole thing. It is a problem.
Well, we are coming to you bringing episode 53.
We
Woo!
did it. We're into year 2. What?
Yay! What?
Technically.
We have a live chat going on, which quick shout out to those. We got Rab saying greetings program. So which
Yay.
hello, I like that.
Excuse you, I'm a user.
Yes, haha. Just got here, but someone's here before me.
Ain't that always the way?
Giga Derek says my body is ready. Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Fair. Fair.
You know, Monday Energy, we come at you with what we got, and we understand it's all kinds of stuff going on. So, you know what? You're here. That's great. If you're watching it live, fantastic. If you're watching it later, no worries. Comment down below. We got anime movies coming to home release announcements, coming to theaters. We'll be talking My Hero Academia, as well as Spy Family, and have some recommendations for things we've been watching and maybe some holiday suggestions as well. So that's what is up ahead. But let's hit some quick introductions. Oh, well, quick. Also, get great readings from Retail Hell. Oh,
see
no.
the dumpster fire shirt. Yeah. Yep. Yes.
If you work in retail, good luck. And if you're going somewhere with retail, be nice.
Yes. So. My God.
Well, hello. I am Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
Which you can
Cold Miser and Heat Miser, yes, respectively, I guess.
My Doctor Who hoodie. There we go. Quick shout out. They have a nice emblem here. This is
nice.
Oh my gosh, I feel bad I had brain fart. Hero Within is the brand, and they make kind of like more subtly nerdy attire. So like if you didn't know this, you'd just be like, all right, that's cool. But they also have jackets and all kinds of other things, and also small business. So yay. But yes, let's get into some things we're excited about.
I think like all of our news comes from Crunchyroll this week.
Or it's like the hybrid of Crunchyroll Aniplex. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's called a monopoly. No, we love Crunchyroll.
Those are not mutually exclusive.
Yes.
Anyway, it's not quite a monopoly. We got High Dive. High Dive, good.
Yes, this is true.
Just haven't gotten anything from them this week. They are probably on holiday break. That's also where I'd like to be, so good for them. For starters, we have the Crunchyroll Winter 2023 season lineup, and it looks like the winter season does start. Well, one of them starts in a couple days, in December 23rd, but the rest look like they're mostly going to be January releases. So things like Lee's Detective Agency, Tomo-chan is a Girl. We have season 4 of Bungo Stray Dogs, so I know a lot of people are going to be super excited for that to come back. The Ice Guy and his cool female colleague, Revenger, Onimai, I'm Not Your Sister, Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel Northern War. So that one is based on, I believe, the video game. So that should be fun. That's January 6th. Trigun Stampede on January 7th, you guys. Trigun Stampede on January 7th. I am beyond excited. That same day, we get season 2 of The Misfit of Demon King Academy and season 2 of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. So all sorts of fun stuff coming up. Again, we same day, chilling in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. We talked about that last week, and that's one I'm excited for because it just sounds funny. January 8th, continuing with the season 2s, By the Grace of Gods is coming back, as is Inspector. And we talked about Handyman Saito in Another World. That's dropping that day as well. Continuing with the season 2s, on January 9th, we have Vinland Saga season 2. And that I know a ton of people are super excited about. And this is the point where I have to go rearrange things because I had to click see more on my email. So that, yeah, it's the winter season is stacked, you guys. Absolutely stacked. Another one I'm super excited about on January 9th, The Vampire Dies in No Time, season 2. If you haven't watched The Vampire Dies in No Time, it is one of the best comedies I've seen in years. Highly recommended. Do the thing. January 10th, we talked about Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill. That's when that's dropping. January 13th, if you're watching The Fruit of Evolution, that is also getting a season 2. January 18th, Sorceress Stabber Orphan. So we're getting another season of Orphan. It's a remake, rather, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the series. Orphan is a very interesting one with some absolutely buck wild lore. So if you are into a swords and sorcery sort of thing with a protagonist with a bad attitude and a heart of gold, you know how this works. Orphan does some absolutely buck wild stuff, but it's some very fun buck wild stuff. And under the coming soon umbrella, it's coming in the winter season, most likely. We don't have a date for it. Further bulletins as events warrant. Nier Automata version 1.1a. The Nier anime is finally dropping. So that is going to be super fun when that rolls up. Second season of Bofuri. I'm eating well in terms of my season 2s. I absolutely love Bofuri. Very fun. And season 3 of Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac. So all three of those are coming at some point in the winter season. Potentially some point in January, potentially a little later. We don't have more details. Again, further bulletins as events warrant. I'm sure when Crunchyroll has the details, they'll send them to us, and then we can then relay them to you. But in the meantime, Trigun, you guys. Trigun, you guys. And also a metric ton of other amazing looking things. And also Trigun. I keep putting my hand here and forgetting that I'm wearing dice. Yeah. Yeah.
That is good.
Super excited about all of this. Again, the winter season is going to be absolutely stacked. And that's just the Crunchyroll releases. We don't have a winter season release list from High Dive quite yet, or they might have sent us, previews and they're not in the brain, but it's a stacked season, you guys.
We got Charles in the chat says, I am glad we're in a time where lots of sequel seasons are being made. Used to be rare to get season 2s. True dat. Oh my goodness. It's so nice. Or it's really awesome that a lot of shows that only had a season 1 like 10, 15 years ago, or somewhere in that range, is now coming back with more. It's like, yes! Or,
and I mean, we have 2 fairly big remakes this season in Trigun and Orphan.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then speaking of other releases, also news from Crunchyroll.
Yes.
So this is March, so a little bit in advance, but these are going to be home video releases. So if you want to get your copies. So we got Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which we went to that. I was like, wait, am I pointing the right way? Yes, this way.
Yes.
I'm leaving my screen to go look at the press release. So I'm like, yes, this way. We went to that thing, which thank you for Crunchyroll for that. That was super fun to go check out movie. And it's a very fun movie. If you're a fan, absolutely go check it out. And if you've never watched or you're not very familiar with Dragon Ball, it's still very entertaining. Bring your friends in on that one.
That I will be purchasing, and I don't think I've purchased any of the other Super movies, but that one just really good, you guys.
So these are coming to Blu-ray, which, you just want that because then you get all the special features and it looks so good and it's so pretty. So yes, there's also Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which I did an interview of that here on this channel, so you can go check that out with the English voice acting cast. That one's a very big box set there. That looks really pretty. Also,
all sorts of fun stuff.
Yes, I was looking near Nerdo, and a Titan size limited edition Blu-ray box set for Attack on Titan final season part 2. So end of March. So that one's going to have a 24-page art book, art cards, and some other goodies. Ooh, enamel pins and more. So go check out all of that. I was like, ooh, I was getting excited to see all the other like extra things they get. I'm like, wait, what is this one?
And if you want to talk a little Attack on Titan, I talked with Elizabeth Maxwell at Anime Pasadena, and that is also on this channel. You'll find the tie-ins.
Yes. And also Mariko-chan, which I am behind on that one. I started. I really liked it. I will report back when I have time to keep watching that one. But I'm like, oh yes. So a couple other titles coming out too. We got Heaven's Official Blessing, Sing a Bit of Harmony, Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, One Piece Season 12, Voyage 3.
Nice.
Yeah, so just check all those out on the Crunchyroll store for more home video offerings. Yeah. So woohoo!
And again, if you need a holiday present for someone, they're not going to come out till March. But if you want to purchase or pre-order, if pre-orders are available, that I'm not sure about. But if you want to go, hey,
like, give them a voucher. I'm getting this for you.
Or you print out the picture, you put it in a card, you wrap it, you put a rock in there and wrap the card so it feels really heavy. Like I'm that person.
But
that way they open it up and it's a picture of the thing, and you go, it'll arrive in March when they come out. I'm getting you this.
Nice.
So, yeah.
In advance. I dig it.
It's a good way to do things, and it's also a good way to work around presents that haven't arrived yet.
Yes.
Been there, done that.
I'm that late present person. I do crafts, and I always start late.
I try to mail my stuff on time, and then the post office loses my boxes.
For that.
And then we have conversations. That's a part of the dumpster fire. Anyway,
so you have a movie announcement?
Yes. I do. In better news, Crunchyroll announces theatrical release dates for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, the movie Scarlet Bond, beginning January 2023. Slime is getting a movie, you guys. Good for this show. It's so stinking cute. So it is releasing in the UK and Ireland on January 18th, and Australia on the 19th, the US and Canada on the 20th, and in Mexico on the 26th, with additional dates for Europe and the Middle East to be announced soon. Tickets for the popular fantasy adventure are already on sale in North America. So you head to slime-movie.com, the film debuted in Japan on November 25th. Yeah, tickets for North America are now available at slime-movie.com. So slime-movie.com. Film will be available in both English with Japanese subtitles as well as dubbed in English. And they gave us a synopsis. Let's do the synopsis so you can cover your ears for the next 10 seconds if you don't want to hear it. A long-running conspiracy is swirling over a mysterious power wielded by the Queen in Raja, a small country west of Tempest. When a slime who evolved into a demon lord named Rimuru Tempest crosses paths with Hiro, a survivor of the ogre race, an incredible adventure packed with new characters begins. The power of bonds will be put to the test. So yeah, it sounds like your usual slime adventure, and I'm here for it. Sounds like a good time. So again, tickets are already on sale at slime-movie.com. That's the 18th for the UK and Ireland, 19th for Australia, 20th in the United States and Canada, 26th in Mexico, and additional dates for the Middle East and Europe to be announced. I say the 18th and 19th, January 18th, 19th, 20th. It's not already out. We're not doing timey-wimey here. So yeah, if you are a slime fan or if you just want to see a fun anime movie in the theater, check that out.
Woo. Another movie. So this is coming from Aniplex and Crunchyroll. So they are announcing the theatrical release dates for Sword Art Online, the movie, Progressive, Shizero, of Deep Night. They'll be coming out in February. So if you're United States and Canada, that's going to be February 3rd, and additional dates to be announced for Europe and Latin America. Australia, New Zealand, UK, and Ireland get it February 1st. So staggered 1st through the 3rd there. So long-awaited Shizero of the Deep is this Deep Night is sequel to fan favorite Sword Art Online, the movie Progressive, Aria of the Starless Night. So I am excited to see that because it's an interesting take of where they're kind of going back of like where things kind of started, because we already know where a lot went. So it's nice to see more the beginning, and it's like we got to see where characters end up. So it's nice to see their progression of how they ended up that way, because it kind of focuses a lot on Asuna, and we know how awesome she is later. Asuna,
This is
awesome.
true.
And it's cool to see what led up to that. So yeah, I am curious to check that out. And
is that Scherzo?
It is spelled Scherzo. Yes.
Yeah, scherzo. It's an Italian term, and it's a piece of music.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, I've not heard the word out loud, so I'm like, good
yeah,
question.
yeah. It's one of those. It's like,
and then if you're reading it, thinking it's Japanese with
this?
like,
yeah, no, that is musical terminology.
Will be available in Japanese with English subtitles as well as dubbed in English. Also on this channel, I'm like, yes, on this channel, we had an episode where I talked to the English director as well as Asuna herself. So check that out on here. But yeah, anyways, I like the progressive movie, so I'm curious to watch this one as well because like all these movies are beautiful. Look so pretty.
Again, with the winter season being stacked, we have the Slime movie in January, the SAO movie in early February, and the Demon Slayer movie in mid-February. Guys,
we got another one.
We don't have dates for this one we're about to talk about yet. So this is just me specifically talking about the winter season.
Yes.
Also, with all these releases, we have these amazing movies coming out as well.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Professional adjacent. This is why I have a microphone that clicks off with a gesture.
I was going to say, that's
anyway.
Very convenient. I'm like, it'd take me a minute to get the mouse and everything.
Yeah, just this moment of, oh no. Yep. All right. So we are ending our announcements bit with an announcement from, I believe this was Jump Festa 2 days ago. I think that's going on in Japan right now. Spy Family anime continues with season 2 and movie officially announced for 2023. So the Spy Family series announced on the Jump Super stage during Jump Festa 2023 that season 2 of the TV anime is currently in production along with a Spy Family movie, both set for a 2023 release. And there is a visual drawn for the movie, and it's all of them in a little red biplane. It's adorable.
Yes.
And that is all of the information we have so far.
Hey,
that's the official. Yeah, that's the official Crunchyroll article. I did see another article that mentioned that presumably the 24th, so this coming weekend, episode 25 of season 1 of Spy Family is the final episode for the season. I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere, so we'll see if that's the case. But if that is the case, then we're down to one show to cover, which means we will most likely be picking up Trigun as our second weekly show to cover as well.
Which also announced, but then speaking of that, we won't be here next week, the Monday after Christmas, but we will be giving you recommendations of things to watch in the meanwhile, and then we'll just pick up what we missed
January
when we come back in January.
Yep.
We'll see you next year.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's never not gonna die.
It's never not gonna die. All right, I'll take it.
Charles Darcy says 25th episode is the last for season 1. Okay.
All right, so that is good to know for planning purposes.
Yes.
And given the preview that we saw for the episode, I'm kind of not surprised.
Yes.
We shall see. But yeah, I think that's all we have for announcements.
Yeah.
If I could diverge into video games for one hot second.
There you go.
I should have had this pulled up beforehand, but here, come on, please pull up. I should have had this pulled up beforehand, but here we are.
Come here.
No. I would like to say congratulations. I mentioned the Calling All Heroes Challengers Cup last week, that there was rounds last weekend, and then this weekend were the semifinals and the finals. Congratulations to Altiora Artemis for winning the whole thing. Fantastic job. Way to go. This was not an easy tournament to get through, and there were a lot of incredible teams. Shock Timeless, all 3 of the Altiora teams, Dart Monkeys, just y'all were killing it. These games were fantastic to watch. So if you want to go back and watch a tournament that was specifically made for people with genders underrepresented in gaming, definitely check out the VOD of the Calling All Heroes Challengers Cup. Very fun, really good gameplay, and some of the best gamer tags. Like, Aspen is a mainstay. We know Aspen. I'm here for the support main who went by Megatron. Like, she was my favorite in the tournament. She's not on the winning team, but she's definitely one where I'm like, yes, you. Barcode was another good one that I really liked. Like, there were some just amazing gamer tags in this. So, yeah, watch the VOD. It's a really good time. And congratulations again to Altiora Artemis. Way to go.
Nice. Sorry, I was fidgeting. My other co-host is complaining at me.
Your pupper?
My coworker. It's
Your
like,
coworker.
hey. And I'm like, yes, come here. Oh, wait, here we go. And she runs and jumps. It's big. Making a cameo. It's like, yes, why are you on camera?
Sweetie.
Why are you ignoring me? All right.
I will occasionally get my cat coming in when I'm streaming and just parking it beneath my chair and yelling. She doesn't do it for this show, but she does it when I'm streaming, which makes for some interesting VOD sometimes. It's like, hey, what's going on? It's like, oh, the cat's sitting under my chair screaming her face off. She doesn't want me to be playing games about dinosaurs. She wants me to be petting her. Okay. Well, I have two hands.
Yeah, mine is my dog now. How I sit at my desk, she can very conveniently sit on my lap, and she'll be like, "Excuse me, why am I not allowed up there?" And I'm like, "Okay, fine." I'm like,
hey, this is my spot.
Like, come on. Yes. Speaking of vying for attention, hey.
So,
whoo!
I think we're starting to wrap on this particular arc. I hope we're starting to wrap on this particular arc.
It's one of those like.
I don't know if you've heard it. There's a parody song called "Title of the Song." Okay. I don't know if I've told you about this before. It's essentially one of those very poppy, "I did you wrong, I'm sorry, can we get back together" songs. But it spells it out. It spells out what's happening in the lyrics. So the lyrics start with declaration of my feelings for you, elaboration on those feelings. Like, it goes through, and instead of giving any details, it's like Mad Libs. There's a point in the bridge where the main singer hits, and I hold the high note and just holds it and holds it and holds it. And then about 8 or 10 bars later, still going. We're in the still going part of this arc. We've been holding this high note for a while, and we are still going. So it's like, okay, it's not a bad thing. And honestly, still going is one of the funniest things in the song. But it's also just like, come on, guys, please. We've finally started putting things together. Chekhov's drugs finally started working. Can we do stuff, please?
I agree with Giga who's slightly less anxiety than last time. Charles says next episode ends the arc, which I'm like, all right, because it's one of those. Don't get us wrong. This is an exciting arc for sure.
Yeah.
But it does feel like so how are we wrapping this up? Like, what? How much more time do we have?
Again, we're in the still going territory.
Which we're leading towards my theory. We're getting Eri back a little bit, and I was like,
yeah. Having Mirio show up out of nowhere was like, oh, thank God.
Well,
but this also makes me think Aizawa's getting that leg back.
I think so too. Yes. We got the backup has arrived, so now the tides turn one last time. Because this show does that too, and it's the idea of all hope is possibly lost. How are they going to pull out of this? And then something happens.
That's good, no, that's bad children's book. You know?
Yeah. And Lemillion showing up. Yeah. Power!
Yes, my God.
Moment going, where was he? And I'm like, why hasn't he been here? And then I'm like, oh yeah, shit.
Like, he's been quirkless. He's been quirkless for a bit. It's fine. It's fine.
Works now. Eri did her magic and was able to Well, it's not specifically said, but I'm assuming Eri was able to fix it.
No, they showed that. That happened
doing
on
it to
screen.
him?
Yes, that happened on screen.
I don't feel I was registering that because I saw her like doing the like.
She did it to the lizard, and then
Yeah.
he was like, "Will you use your quirk on me? I feel so bad. I feel like I'm using you." And she's like,
Okay.
"No, I've been learning to do this so I could help you."
But then that was it.
And puts her hands on his face.
Okay.
And then we cut back. So she very explicitly used her quirk on him.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, she very
I was
explicitly
thinking
used her
like
quirk on
we
him.
got to see something happen, but that is the yes. I was all no, girl, this is what she's been training for. I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
I do agree. I think Isaiah was going to get his leg back because
Yeah.
Eri can reverse shit. So I'm
Yeah.
like, thank you.
And I think if he shows up without the leg, Aries going to be like, hang on.
Yeah,
Wait
she's
a
like,
minute.
hold on.
I could do this.
I also love her cute little ponytail now, and it makes her look a little more mature because she's has grown a little bit. So I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And yes, a million coming up, but he's not quite his full level. Oh,
Yeah.
and then oh my goodness, Genus, because before we didn't really get to see him do that much. So I was
we
like,
knew
what's the
he
guy
could
do?
control. We knew he could control fibers. We've seen him in action, but it's been since like early season 3 because
Yeah.
the last time he was in action was also the last time All Might was in action. It was that fight.
Yeah.
And I know they keep giving a city name, and my brain just cash dumps it every single time. But it was that. I believe that was the beginning of season 3.
It's been a while. So
Yeah,
to see him do this and then have the other one, and this is also
because again, he got messed up. He was missing a lung. And so he was recovering from that. And then the last time we saw him, it was Hawks going into his apartment and looking all menacing. And I kind of want to know what the body was in the bag that Hawks showed them. Was there like, did we get a fake body somewhere? Was it actually Genus and he was just like medically induced into a hell of a coma? Is this a quirk thing or a medical thing? How does this work? Yeah, last time Genus fought, he had more organs. Generally speaking, you need 2 lungs. So this show is like the only organ where you have a spare that you can potentially lose and still be okay is your kidneys.
Yeah, I was gonna say
and also like pieces of your liver, but not the whole thing. So like losing a lung is one of those like moments. Like just okay, sure, Jan. But that was also 3 seasons ago, and we just kind of go, all right, he lost a lung, whatever.
Yeah,
moving on.
And as he's fighting, he's like coughing up blood and stuff. And we're like, oh gosh, like everybody is so beyond injured that you're like, ah.
We have not fully recovered here. And poor Deku just going, move. Like, all right, buddy, please stop.
Yes. The Froppy Black Whip was smart, very creative. I dug it. That was and I like the cut back to the training. I'm like, thank you. That was very cool.
And I do appreciate for this show, again, usually we don't have Shonen Power quirk. Usually we don't have people pulling new powers out. Shonen Power creep, rather. I'm good at this. Usually we don't have people just pulling new powers out of their asses. All for One and One for All can do that because they're special. But I do appreciate for the most part, it's like you have your quirk. This is what you can do. And then it shows them improving and learning new things and training it and shoring up their weaknesses. So it's not just like, I've learned a new power. It's, I've learned a new way to modify things. I have new equipment that will help me do this and this and this. I have, so it's working with what you have and augmenting it to make it better and thinking of new ways to use things as opposed to getting something new. Black Whip and Float are both definitely getting something new, which, again, is a little annoying. But we still have Deku doing I need to learn how to use this. I need to be creative. And he's always been good at figuring out what he's doing, figuring out what other people are doing, and thinking very, very far outside the box. So using it like Froppy is an incredibly creative thing that a lot of people wouldn't think of. But he goes, she can grapple. I can grapple. Yeah, I should try practicing that too, just in case. I have this really bad habit of like breaking all my limbs, so maybe I should work on that. Maybe I should practice a backup. So when they do the Ocean's 11 cut back to the past and they show us practicing that, it doesn't feel like an ass pull. It feels believable because Deku has always been on the strategize like crazy and then go train. Like, he's always done that.
Which also Bakugo leveled up a little bit too and did that, which I was all good job. You know, he's like trying to think of the different explosions. And then also I like Ida's, yo, dude, you are too injured. You need to stop. Bakugo's like, oh, you're right.
I do appreciate that we got Bakugo's chosen hero name, and it's this completely patently ridiculous theatrical. It's no longer King Explosion Murder. It's like something explosion god something. It's 5
Dynamite.
words.
I'm like, we're just gonna call him Dynamite. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Like, it's 5 words. It's too many. And I love that most of the responsible adults going, oh my God, really? And then Mirio going, no, that's fantastic. You got to have a sense of humor in order to go into the future. So the pageantry on that one is great. And then Ida using the full thing to address it.
Yes.
Because of course he would. Great explosion, murder, god, dynamite. Of course. Of
like,
course.
No.
Just we have the flashback to Genis telling him, like, your hero name is a wish. It's something to aspire to. It's something you want to be. So he just keeps adding words. Like, and then cutting back to that, and poor Genis just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Why, child? Like, no, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is totally him. I'm here for it. He has been pierced through the lung. Let him live.
Yes.
Let him live. Let's just go.
And we also, Deku's speech to Dabi, knocking Endeavor back into his senses.
Deku's inherent, not inherited, just Deku's actual quirk is giving members of the Todoroki family reality checks. Like, this is the 3rd time he's done it.
He's like, let's go, everybody.
I think he's done like 2 to Shoto. I don't think he's done one directly addressed at Endeavor at any point, but I think he's hit Shoto twice. And then this one, he got all 3 of them. Just like, amazing. Amazing. You had an area of effect for that one. It wasn't just a single target attack. God damn, dude. I know you want to be the world's greatest hero, but have you considered being a therapist? Because, like, shit, son. Your shonen inspirational speeches are fucking super effective.
Deku is my hero.
No. Deku is intelligent and effective. Don't even start. We do not with Dr. Phil or Dr. Oz or anyone who has a fucking TV show on this show.
Oh, you know what though? Who did get a show that I'm like yes for is Karamo. I do like Karamo. He's like Karamo. He's the one who goes, you know what? Yeah. Maybe you should think of things this way. And then they go, oh, you're right.
Yeah. From Queer Eye. Yes. Yeah.
So Rad says fair point. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's I understand what you were going for.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the exact example you chose, but I'm here for the parallel.
Yes.
He's their Dr. Laura. Did no one else listen to Dr. Laura? No, my mom liked listening to her, so it was often like, okay.
A moment back, though, Dynamite is cute since Bakugo is an All Might fanboy too.
This is true.
It's cute.
This is true.
Kim Preston might be Oprah.
I kind of see him as it's an Overwatch League cut, but my brain's like, he's either Uber or Leg Day. And I think he's Uber because Uber is he's either Australian or Kiwi. I think he's Australian. Very tall, blonde, wears extremely loud printed shirts, and is always the one when he's casting, like, he'll go and then the volume just skyrockets whenever something crazy happens. So it's like when you hear people announcing for soccer, but Spanish, so football, and just goal. I'm like, that's Uber. That's Uber. And so that's where I go. Like, if we're fan casting my hero people as real careers, present Mike is Uber.
Yeah.
At Uber Shouts, do not tell him I said that. I don't think he'll get the joke. I don't know, actually.
So back to our also I appreciated our Todoroki trying to fight his brother.
Yes.
And then it's like, dude, you're burning up. Oh, and the face, the stitches ripping and breaking
coming out.
Yeah.
And just again, Todoroki popping back, cooling himself off and going, "You're overheating, aren't you?" And Dabi like, "Oh, you're the special little puppet." I'm so tired of Dabi. I really am. Like, I cannot wait for the spontaneous human combustion. I'm sure he'll stick around for a while longer. He's too good a character not to.
Yeah.
But like, at this point, it's just like, I need you to sit all the way down and shut all the way up. You're not funny. You're not special. You're not good. You're just an asshole.
Yep, we got Charles in the chat saying, Deku, like, nah, Dabi, you're responsible for your own action. It ain't all on your dad.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Dabi having no remorse for sending the villain that almost killed their brother, Natsuo. Uso. Yeah. It's like, which 100% shitty things can happen to anybody, anywhere.
Yes.
It's your response to them that defines your character. And so he's just an asshole. Like,
yeah. And I mean, I'm not going to stand here and say Endeavor is blameless. That is whole ass incorrect. Yeah. And we talked a bit about how this show is addressing his arc and addressing the idea of being sorry and doing better does not undo the damage you've done, and that the people you've hurt are not obligated to forgive you or give you a second chance. So again, this is in line with that. So it's still problems. It's still very much problems as a result of Endeavor's actions. But I also really want to know what the in-between steps were between that fire on the mountainside and Dabi. Like, what happened? I'm pretty sure this was All for One leaning in and going, "Hey kid, you hate your dad? Let's go." But I would love the flashback. I would love to see how exactly that came about. Because I'm also pretty sure someone pulled him from that fire, which is why Endeavor couldn't find him. Because Endeavor was still looking. So that doesn't read to me as the fire burned down, they did a half-ass search, he was still alive, but whatever. That reads to me as someone went in there and went, my child grabbing classes are coming in handy, and left. You know? Yeah. Bonus points if you get that reference. Anyway, I'd love to see the in-between, but right now, it is still Dabi making some life decisions and deciding that everyone else, including other members of his family, are okay collateral if it means hurting his dad. And it's like, I get that you're traumatized. I get that this really hecked you up. Like, I understand that. I'm not invalidating that. But you also indirectly nearly got the brother that you liked at one point whole ass murdered. And you're just going to stand here and be like, who cares? Like, nah. Cool motive, still murder.
Giga Derek says, working theory, All for One manipulation and doctor experimentation.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, because he had to be modified there of covering up the injuries and everything.
Yeah. And I mean, All for One is behind everything except for Stain, which is wild. Stain continues to be the spider's George of this series. He's an outlier and he shouldn't be counted. It's
what was the other? I also liked the literal and metaphorical wonderful message of Best Jeanist of just like all the threads together. And I'm like, yes, thank you for that. It's one of those everybody doing the best that they can. And all those things combined and trusting in each other made that happen.
And again, Chekhov's drugs finally showing up. Thank God.
Oh my gosh, that's also why I was. But so we were right when I was thinking.
Yeah.
We mentioned how he was shrinking a little bit and thinking that meant, oh, okay, he's done with that task. He reached the master. No, it's a little bit of breaking down. So we got Gigadare says, could he partially be Nomu?
I think when they made him, they hadn't figured out how to make the heckin' smart Nomus yet. Because Dabi already existed in season 1 when they sent that first Nomu up against All Might at the training facility. End of season 1. You know what I'm talking about.
And yep, All For One has Sidious levels of manipulation. Yes.
Sidious was also people who should have been asking questions, not asking questions, or not asking the right questions. So I'd give All For One a little more credit than I would Sidious, because a lot of what was around Sidious was complacency, whereas All For One really does have his fingers in all these pies and really is that heckin' powerful. So All For One has also had a metric ton of time.
That too.
Multiple human lifespan. Well, no, 70 years ago, wasn't it? Something like that? Quirks haven't been around for a full century.
No, I think it's not that recent. I mean,
it's
not that old.
It's more that I'm thinking that he's outlived like 7 wielders.
Well, they don't all get full lifespan.
Die young.
Yes. Yes. Was there any other big moments? I feel that kind of covered all the major...
I think so.
Big moments.
Yeah.
Which there are, if there's other things that stood out to you, of course, leave comments down below.
I think we're going to get some stuff from Compress this next episode.
Yes, I'm excited to know more about this character because we don't really know much about him.
Yeah, he seems to be gearing up for some stuff, so we'll see. But all of the cutting back to things to some of our fallen heroes who hopefully they get back up.
Yep.
Yeah, but cutting back to them, doing the flashbacks for how all of this started, just all the bits and pieces coming together, like that was a great way to do this episode. And
Genus all the threads woven together.
Genus was the best person to frame that monologue. Like that was a great device. Very well used, very well done.
Yeah. It's one of those I appreciate more of that character.
Genus good.
Genus holding it down. Bakugo hero name, hero return.
I think that's the big ones.
Well, this is a good one. Rab says a hero lives 2 to 10 years if you're good. That's true. If you're putting yourself in danger, that's a good question. How long do they live? It's like maybe not that long, depending.
I would say longer.
Also, they said they lost half of them. Also, I'm like, so did like half of the heroes of a chunk die?
I don't think they're dead. I think they're down
on the battlefield. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like,
because I mean, the main 3 that we cut to were Hawks and Midnight and Mount Lady.
Yeah.
And all of them we have no idea right now.
Yeah.
We made a big deal out of saving Hawks' life by getting him to medical. We have no confirmation for Midnight or Mount Lady. So we'll find out. But I think in this terms, Down is just no longer able to fight.
I think you're right. I hope so.
Yeah, me too. It's a lot of dead people.
Well, assumptions are a bad thing, as we learn over in Spy Family.
Your Honor, they're stupid. They're stupid, and I love them.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so 1, never assume things. You should always ask questions if you're unsure about stuff, especially in relationships, friendships, romantic, platonic, whatever. If you're unsure, I know it's hard, you should ask a question.
Use your words like an adult. Communication is not always easy, but it needs to be done.
Yes.
But just the fact that we're laboring under multiple layers of secrets in this relationship is like, that makes things a little harder. That's fair.
Yes, this is 100% very precious, Lloyd, and your content, and I was here for it.
I repeat, Your Honor, they're stupid. I love them.
I'm just a little bummed of like, I do understand some people's need for substances to help, remove those barriers they feel that they subconsciously, consciously have placed on themselves. But it just really sucks that she drinks so much that she is like doesn't remember any of it. And then the joke, I did appreciate the line that they're like, they had to have this whole conversation all over again the next day. Like, okay.
But the thing is, the second that we had Lloyd trying the honey trap and then it being rejected, like at that point, okay, she can't remember any of this, or it changes the entire dynamic.
True.
Like they have to be able to whoosh, all of this.
Yeah.
And again, she also didn't remember doing any of the Bond man stuff.
No.
Because she was heckin' drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he at least this time was a bit more questioning of her abilities and actually getting knocked unconscious, which did lead to a very cute moment of connecting with a memory about his mom.
Yeah. I was like, oh. We get past that's not just a couple seconds of him walking through rubble and crying.
Yes. Yep. The kick, the landing, the chin, glorious.
My
yes,
God, the chin. There's not enough to swell like that there. Like how?
Yeah, that was very cheesy, but I liked it.
Oh
like,
my God, yes.
Yeah, because they're out late because their date was so good, which I did think that was super cute of essentially like, let's go on a date. Like, let's actually spend some time together without the child. I'm like, oh, because that's
cute. And then
cute.
Frankie just, I'm not a babysitter. Here's some money.
Here's
not a babysitter. Just Frankie.
Ooh,
Frankie, you entire mess.
Okay, wait. I thought it was really weird and suspicious. We get the anime glazed over glasses when he asks Anya, do you like your mother and father? I was very suspicious of that because one, it was a very weird question to ask her. And then it was the evil villain anime like, like,
but I mean, Frankie also, he's one of the few people. Well, he's one of the few people that know that Anya is not Lloyd's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one of those things where it's like, okay, the cover story is she's my kid. This is my second wife. Like, not the only people who know it are the people who know about Operation Strix. So it doesn't surprise me. Well, the people who know about Operation Strix and Anya.
Yeah.
But it doesn't surprise me that he's asking or digging because it's Frankie. It's Frankie. He's a disaster.
Yes.
He's good at his job, but he's also a disaster.
Yes. They're fighting and all that. And understandable that you're in a way is jealous, and her like conveying to us audience of how important this family unit is to her.
Yeah.
Not just of social existing, but just like she cares. So, oh, thank you. Thank you for letting us see into that part of like their lives.
And the parallels of I always felt safe around my mother and you've become that safe space for Anya. Like that's very important.
Yep.
And then just having to do that all again the next day in the cold light of day, stone cold sober. Just some form of common sense, but stupid like the rest. Frankie has a high intelligence stat, and charisma is absolutely his dump stat. And that is why he is an intelligence guy and does not do field work without Lloyd.
Yeah.
My dude has no clue, and probably a middling to negative wisdom stat too. Just because intelligence is the smarts and wisdom is the common sense.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So now
this was a cute one. Getting that little bit of backstory was great.
Yes.
But it's resolving the worrying about Nightfall bit. It's like, okay, good. Can we just excise her from the story for a little bit? Can we not think about her? Great. Thank you.
And the other funny, cute bit was, what'd you think of the shopping?
Oh my God.
Which, Becky, you are a child. Let's not be so mature.
And again, it's like that, the 6-year-old has a crush on an adult.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
It's a thing. Right. It's adorable. Yeah. It's cute. The fact that the 6-year-old is heckin' rich makes things a little weird. I love Martha. the valet.
Yes.
Martha was
Yes.
amazing. And I loved the flashback of just Becky being so hard to socialize and having so much trouble with other kids because Becky has that awful tell it like it is lack of filter, and part of that is a kid thing because kids don't always really get
Yep.
filters. We've seen that so much with Anya, my god. But the other part of it is, oh, I'm just telling it like it is an ego thing in people. Well, I'm right, and therefore I should say it, as opposed to maybe it's a good idea to consider other people's feelings. Like, again, children don't always get empathy. It's a thing that develops as they get older, and it can also be taught. So some of this is being a kid, but if that sort of attitude persists into being an adult, that's just you being an ass and not caring about other people's feelings. So it's something that you really do want to work on as a kid. So I loved the flashback of, okay, this is how she tends to act. And then finding Anya, going against the I don't want to interact with commoners, and finding this total commoner and going, this one, I'm keeping her. She's great. I love her. I love her so much. We're going to be friends. And just it
And
working
then
out
Anya
really
saying
well.
friends out loud, and Becky's like,
Mhm.
oh, and the matching keychain mascots. Oh,
Yes.
so cute.
And it's
And I
just like,
got you
oh,
a
well.
gift.
And I love the bit of her flashing back to her dad going, you always have to present well, you always have to look good. It reflects on the family. And again, this is a kid. And then Martha going,
Mhm.
I'm sure that your dad would say you should accept your friend's generosity because that would reflect well on the Blackwell family as well. Just that little nudge of, I know what you're thinking. Here's the decision that as an adult, I have a longer view and I can see the direction you should probably go on this one. So,
Yeah.
like, accept your friend's generosity. Because Martha's in it for I would like this girl to grow up socialized.
Well, I like that
able
Martha
to work in
recognized that
society.
Anya is probably a good friend for Becky to have, of someone being
Yeah.
so different for her.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, we've gone from Becky going, I don't want to go to that school. I don't want to mingle with the commoners. I don't want to talking to Anya like, oh, well, these are the gifts that I get when I do good. Like, is your dad going to get you a gift? Or like, oh, you take the bus? I can have my driver pick you up. Do you want to be picked up? Just this whole like, oh, that's how you live. Can I make it better?
Yeah.
Just Martha, the real MVP. Oh my God, yes.
Yes. Also, it went by too fast, but yeah, that keychain was way too expensive.
Oh my God. It makes sense. But just I rented out this whole department
I was
like, this whole department store. I just, no, I am Anya when it comes to things like this. Like, I'm at home in a mall. I'm at home in a Kohl's. I went bridesmaids gown shopping with my friend. She was doing her wedding gown shopping, and then we were looking at bridesmaid stuff. So it was all these stores on like Rodeo Drive, and just walking in there and being like, I'm dressed relatively nice. I am underdressed. What is happening? Just that severe class divide, that Pretty Woman shopping montage, just that sort of thing. So Anya, like, shopping for clothing is exhausting. Fashion is exhausting. I am overwhelmed at this entire thing right now. I'm like, yeah. Yep.
And needs a nap.
Yep.
They both napping in the car.
They're so heckin' cute.
That was cute. And then also
honestly,
Becky cosplaying Yor. I was like, no.
I saw that when she started doing all the different things. I'm like, she's gonna come out in Yor's look, and lo and behold, please don't wear that.
This is more sophisticated. I'm like, whoa, I get it, but I'm like, whoa, Becky, enjoy being a little kid.
You're 6. You're 6.
Some of those outfits are really cute, though.
Oh yeah, and some of them were just heckin' weird.
Yes.
Honestly, I think the outfit that Anya came out in with the little beret and the coat, and then like the peanut themed little bag, so amazing. I'm like, why does she need to go shopping for clothes? Look at her.
Her outfit was already cute. The peanut dress was cute, though.
I did like the peanut dress quite a bit.
That was cute, and the peanut bag is adorable.
Yes.
But
yeah.
I appreciate that. That was cute and funny, and then like character development. Oh, and then Damien loving the girls laughing and smiling, and I was see, she doesn't need anything. She doesn't need new clothes. She doesn't need a haircut. She doesn't need anything. Just her being herself is what he's into, which is like, oh, I thought that was cute.
There was a bit I'm trying to remember what point in this story it was, where I think it might have been the two girls talking about Lloyd. It was just a little back and forth, but at the end of it, Anya says something like, "You need to calm down," or something like that. But if you're listening instead of just reading the subs, she calls Becky a tsundere at one point, and I'm just like, I love this. It's interesting picking up the differences between what the subs are saying, what the dub is saying.
Yeah.
What you're
Japanese hearing and what you're reading,
and what's in the exactly. Just picking up the bits, like anytime when Twilight and Nightfall were having a conversation, and she would say senpai, and then it would say Twilight, and they're in public, and it's like there's some subtleties here that are missing. And it's one of those, it should have been subbed as like Lloyd or Doctor or something.
Oh, yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's a little, I don't want to say disconnected, but there is another layer of meaning if you can pick up on bits and pieces of the language. And I'm not going to pretend to be fluent in Japanese. I am so far from it. Well, but I know some bits of vocabulary and some bits of culture well enough to pick up. Like, the first time I watched Evangelion, I watched it in French because I had 7 years of French under my belt at the time, and it was good language practice with English subs. So it was another exercise in what am I hearing versus what am I reading, and it's different approaches in localization. So the subs are fantastic. I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, the subs are great. The dub is great. It's just interesting to see where the changes are and what decisions were made. Yeah.
I feel that's the same for anything where language where somebody is calling somebody brother and sister, and then they just translate it to their name. And I'm like, no, that's a different thing. Because if I'm just calling you sister versus saying your name, that's different. That's not the same thing.
And then senpai, kohai.
It's unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is. And I think when you watch enough of whatever it is in another language, because it's in other languages too, you pick up and you hear it, even though it doesn't say that.
Although if you're watching it in another dub on Crunchyroll, you can't put the English subtitles on.
Right.
So you are just adrift. It continues to be one of the things for Crunchyroll where I'm like, please, for the love of God, I know I'm watching a dub. Please let me put the subtitles on. I beg you.
Yes.
The one thing that I wish they'd rolled over from the Funimation platform, because this
subs on English, please.
Yes. It's an accessibility problem.
Yep.
Like at its heart, it really is. So
it can be also for languages where that somebody's accent is hard to understand. So even as simple as that. What are they saying? What was that? Or it's too quiet or something. Or too many things where it's just like, there's no way my ears didn't hear that at all. And I'm like, they expect us to know what they said? No.
I have been watching British show on my Roku and on the Roku channel, which is another UI issue. And at one point they had a guest on who was very Scottish, and they had a guest on who he described himself as Rasta, and he had that also really heavy, my brain says Jamaican. I don't think that's correct.
So. For Rasta? Rastafarian?
Okay. Yeah, that very heavy accent. And so I'm watching it and going, between these two, they had a conversation and I didn't pick up on any of it. And there weren't even subtitle files available. So it's just like, I'm sure that was hysterical because they kept it off the cutting room floor. But oh my God, I'm usually pretty good at picking up on stuff. I don't know what just happened. So again, subtitles good. Accessibility good, and there is nothing wrong with, even if you're watching something in your native language, also turning the subtitles on. I know some people don't like to see them. That's their preference. I definitely like to have. I think the only thing I don't put them on for is YouTube videos where they're not already there, because I don't like live captions in YouTube videos. It drives me crazy.
Do that. Yeah.
Yeah, just because they're not right.
If they're too big or they cover up the image too much. I was also adding tangent here because since you mentioned Scottish, I've seen at least one girl on TikTok that has the thickest accent, but that's the point and that's the joke.
Yeah.
And then they put the subtitles, and so many comments are like, if this didn't have subtitles, I would have no idea what you're saying.
Subtitles on TikTok means that I occasionally read videos.
Those
Which is
funny
fine
though too, because sometimes they'll put different subtitles to have like an additional message there. So,
oh yeah, or it's an audio bit, and then the subtitles don't match it exactly, or they change the joke, or
Yep. So I feel that was it for Spy Family. Unless you had anything else, I'm excited for more, and we'll see if the next one's the end.
Trailer for this one, where it's called First Encounter, and we're getting to see Damien's dad in the flesh for the first time. Just the expression that they chose to give us for Lloyd's face for this trailer is like, that's a new one. That's fun. Oh dear. Can't wait for this first impression to be whole ass terrible.
Yes.
I can't wait for it to just go down in flames, because Yor is going to do her best, and in her own way, which may not always be applicable to the situation. And Anya is going to know exactly what is going on and try too hard in the completely incorrect fashion, because it's Anya, and she's adorable. Yes. And poor Lloyd is just going to be doing his best to put out fires and make sure this works. And oh God, oh no, oh God. I can't wait. I'm very excited.
I'm looking forward to it. As well. All right. So
this end of semester social party.
Yes. I was grabbing the name to make sure I had it. So speaking of things we're excited to be watching, I'm just making sure I had that. Yep. Nope, not that.
No, not that. I have it. I don't have it.
There we go. Okay. Yes. Okay. So one of my first things of recommendations. So these will be a mix of things we're watching. Things we recommend to you as well. And then also, since this is holiday season, it is present. So happy Hanukkah, early Merry Christmas,
Kwanzaa.
And Kwanzaa, and Festivus for everybody else too. And whatever you celebrate.
Joyous Yule.
Yes. So one of those, in the spirit of holiday watchings, I would highly recommend, was one of the ones I watched from my childhood. It is a claymation Christmas celebration. They have it on YouTube. That it's pretty much a playlist that you could just play through it, because I think the whole thing is only maybe about 24 minutes, which I'm like, really? It's only 24 minutes? But I think it's because it's about like 2 to 4 minutes per each section. And has the California Raisins. It's claymation, stop motion animation. Yes. It's one of those, a lot of people, it's like memories unlocked. It is two dinosaurs, I'm like, can we even kind of show this? Yeah, there we go. It's like a T-Rex and a 3-horned dinosaur telling you about Christmas. And it's just funny, it's cheesy, and it's adorable. Also, there's some other very artistic interpretations of some holiday songs, mix of more just not colloquial songs, but like just kind of contemporary-ish songs and some religious songs too. And they just
secular.
Thank you. There we go. I was like, what's the word? But like how they do the visuals are really pretty. And so, yeah, if you're into stop motion animation, I do highly recommend it. And if you haven't watched it in a long time, it's still really fun and adorable. So that'd be my holiday one, as well as, which I recommended before, go check out Klaus. That was on Netflix. That is a different kind of animation.
Beautiful,
fantastic story, good for the whole family, and
J.K. Simmons is Santa.
Yes. And it's kind of a little bit more realistic approach to the legend of Santa, and good message overall, and just very entertaining and something fresh and new. If you're looking for just a new holiday one to go watch.
Yeah.
And then for something completely different, and I don't know how it ends, so I'll let you know later. But I started the Midnight Society. The kids who are in essentially hospice care, so it means they're gonna die, and they're having their own scary stories at night. It is a Mike Flanagan show, and so I'm skeptical and hopeful at the same time.
It's based on a book series.
Yes, which made me also like, ooh, let me check it out.
Yeah.
My only real complaint right now is they're so inconsistent with their volume levels, which drives me nuts because it really is like kind of quiet things and loud noise, which they do point that out, that someone's telling a ghost story and they do something scary and they're like, ooh, like that's a cheap shot, which I'm like, I like that the show calls that out. I'm like,
show out here like, excuse you.
It should be tension. I get it. But if it really is like, do-do, I'm like, stop it. I should put my volume at one level and be able to watch it without going, okay, it's going to be a loud moment. I'm going to turn it down because it's just,
it ruins the immersion.
It's disruptive. So overall, very interesting. I'm intrigued. I'm a little over halfway through. By the next time we're back, I'll have finished it. But if you're looking for like a serial show of, episodes and kind of on this, and definitely on the spooky side of things, so far so good. And if you're into Mike Flanagan stuff, again, so far so good.
Alrighty.
Katie.
I'm taking this opposite and doing my non-holiday stuff first.
There you go.
The show I mentioned, I have been watching Celebrity Baking Show, which is a great British baking show, but each episode they just bring in 4 celebrities and go nuts. Nice. It's a lot of, I've been watching it on the Roku channel because that's where it is. And the UI for the Roku channel app is frankly terrible. And there's no subtitles available for this show. So again, the watching experience gets a little interesting sometimes. And Roku has ads like every 8 minutes on the dot, regardless of whether there's space for an ad break in the show. So it's, again, it's a heckin' weird experience. But the show itself is a lot of fun. Because some of them are like, oh, I've heard of this person. Oh my God, they got this person on the show. And some of it's just like, I have no idea who these people are. I assume local UK, because it's like sportscasters and news personalities and YouTubers and actors. And like occasionally they will fly in someone from across the pond and you'll have this very incongruous American accent there. It's very, very fun. If you're on Tumblr and you've seen the gif of started baking, had a meltdown, bon appetit, that's this show. And it's so much fun. And I've kind of been at the point where it's like, all right, I'm watching some things with stories in them, but I really just need something where I can put it on and my brain goes, and that's been this show. Because the Jaden Animations 32-day live stream ended this morning. It finally ran out of time. So Celebrity Baking Show has been my put it on and make the brain happy. So if that's what you need and you have a Roku, highly recommended. If there is another place to watch it, I don't know it, but I'm sure there is. So if you can find another place to watch it, I recommend that too. Maybe they have it on Netflix. I have no idea. But yeah, that's a good time. For my holiday recommendations, I always do Nightmare Before Christmas on Christmas Eve. I also do it on Halloween. It's both. It's either. It's whatever you want it to be.
It's an isekai.
It's an isekai. This is true. This is true. But yeah, you can watch that one whenever, and I do it twice yearly, and then occasionally just throw it on whenever for kicks. So that's part of the tradition. The other tradition is the Muppet Christmas Carol, which is hands down the best adaptation of A Christmas Carol. Fight me. Meet me in the Target parking lot. I will go Miss Piggy on you.
I was going to say the Mickey cartoon one is kind of cute, though.
It's good. It's also 20 minutes flat. Yeah. It's a short one. It's very good. And Pete
it's a good bridge.
Pete as the Ghost of Christmas Future is a stroke of brilliance. But the giant Muppet they have as the Ghost of Christmas Future, where there's easily 3 puppeteers in there and it's dead silent the entire time. Amazing. Michael Caine playing Ebenezer Scrooge. He said that he took the part because he wanted to do a movie that his kids could watch, but he also took it on the condition that he could play it dead serious, like Shakespearean. He wanted to be... It's not this is a Muppet movie. It's, this is A Christmas Carol, and I am Ebenezer Scrooge. And also there are Muppets. So the fact that he plays it dead straight when Statler and Waldorf are singing to him about how he's doomed if he doesn't turn his life around. Or, Gonzo's in the background falling out of a tree. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's so very good. And for those of you going, yeah, didn't they cut that song out? There is a song towards the end of the Ghost of Christmas Past bit, and they do reprise it at the end of the movie, called When Love Is Gone. It was in the theatrical version. It was in the VHS. It was missing from the DVD, or it was missing from the widescreen version of the DVD. And the reason for that is they lost the reel that it was on when they were redoing the movie for widescreen. That reel went missing, so they just went without it, cut it as best they could. They found the reel about a year ago, recut the widescreen version, and the full version with the song is now available on Disney Plus. So you can stream that, and that's like new this year. It's not the automatic play version. You do need to go into extras, and it's either like full version or extended version or something like that. So it's not just the hit play. You got to arrow over and hit the special features, but it's on. It's available. It's a very good song. And again, they reprise it at the end, so it's kind of important. So yes, Muppet Christmas Carol, if you've never watched it, definitely watch it. It's like 75 minutes. It's so, so good. And if you have watched it, watch it again. Watch it again with the song put back in, because it's great.
It's also a great all ages one too. I watched it with a 4-year-old a couple years ago, and I kind of was like, are they gonna is this too much? Is it too scary? Because there's some parts I'm like, ooh, this is a little spooky.
Oh yeah.
She loved it. She understood it. Because also I was like, are there things that are too deep? No, she liked it. Yeah. And then the adults in the room, we all really enjoyed rewatching it. I'm glad you mentioned Disney Plus, because I was like, oh yeah. They just had a special on ABC for the Beauty and the Beast 30th anniversary.
Yep.
With her and Josh Groban. Sorry if I said his name wrong there. But it is.
You said it correctly.
Okay. It is very good. It is an interesting mix of watching the movie as like the regular movie. Then they also have dance, singing, live stage performance, pre-recorded. We're not watching it live. Yeah. But also like just really interesting, very theatrical, very Broadway, and like dance and very like modern. And in addition to cool behind the scenes clips and throwbacks to the original recording. Very good. If you miss it, it's on Hulu and Disney Plus. And if you're a Beauty and the Beast fan, highly recommend it. Or, if you're just kind of like, oh, let me check it out. If you're into musicals and theater and dance, do also recommend it. I felt the cast was fantastic. Also, shout out to Rizwan Manji, which we have interviewed him on this channel. Yell interviewed him, and then I've interviewed him many years ago. So he played LeFou, and I was like, yay! It's just cool to see people, doing cool stuff. So
I will say about that, the Beast puppet is incredible.
It was a very interesting choice. I was like, ooh, that's cool.
That's so good. And I cannot remember his name. They got a Hamilton alumnus to play Gaston.
Okay, I was wondering.
And I finally understand why everyone in that village wanted a piece of Gaston. Like, I finally get it. That casting is perfect.
Yeah.
So, like, Katie, aren't you Ace? Yes, I'm Ace, not blind. I can see this man and go, I get it. I get you. That was Ace's casting. Amazing. Perfect.
Costumes really just beautiful and creative, and just really good. It is very magical. We'll go cliche on the descriptions there. Also, we got
that is the point.
Kiki Derrican said, I'd like to recommend DVZA Christmas Tree of Might and Plan to Eradicate Christmas. All right.
Plan to Eradicate Christmas is what I put on. Plan to Eradicate Christmas is what I put on when I'm getting ready for Christmas Eve Mass. Not even gonna lie, that's my tradition. I pop it on the iPad, and it's that 15 minutes of getting dressed and doing the makeup and getting ready to go. It is, I think, my favorite movie that they have ever done. And that includes Broly, and I think their take on Broly is especially good. But Plan to Eradicate Christmas from DBZ Abridged is just, I love it. It's so good. And if you're a fan of DBZ Abridged and you haven't wandered over to 4-Star Bento, which is their other channel, and watched the episode by episode commentaries that they're doing on DBZ Abridged, definitely pop those open and do them. It's a lot of fun behind the scenes stuff, talking about choices they made, scripting choices, editing difficulties and triumphs. Like, it's so fascinating to watch. It's so good.
Nice. Leave your recommendations down below for your favorite any holiday end of the year movies. We're always interested to hear other stuff like that. And then also you can be tweeting out at us those suggestions as well. Katie, where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. The Twitch channel is alive again, you guys. We are definitely still streaming that Jurassic Park game from 1998, though it's going to take a break for the winter holidays because I'm traveling. And if you enjoy discussions, reactions, etc., they all live on that YouTube channel. We did just do a reaction for the Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes,
I think that's the title of this one. I think so. The new Spider-Verse movie, we did just do a reaction for that trailer in which I specifically requested that the movie show me its iteration of Spiders-Man, the Spider-Man who is literally made of spiders. It's a fun video and a deep cut and honestly an extremely cursed thing to ask for, and I regret nothing. I am also a host on Silver Screams. That is Silver Screams on YouTube and the social medias. We do fun horror things. That is me and my roommate. We did a reaction to the Scream 6 teaser that dropped. So if that's not up already, it should be going up soon, in which we have a lot to say about the world that Scream has created, the heightened reality of the Scream world versus the real world and the dark mirror reflections of one another. We have some things to say about what the Ghostface costume means in universe. Yeah, it's a good time.
Nice.
It is me getting way too analytical with how things work, but that is my life. You're here for this.
I was going to say, I'm like, we both do. We just get very excited. Oh, and then we already got Gig Night, Monday, 2023. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yep. That's the reminder that we are off on December 26th because traveling, holidays, family, etc.
Yes.
We will be back on for January 2nd. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yes. And also in the meanwhile, you can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's Karidlane across all platforms. I just went to Florida to cover an event for work. You can go check that out. I tagged it on my profile on Instagram and I think on Twitter. The interview I also did with the cast, the visual effects team for RRR is also out. Again, that's also another movie. Go check that one out. And yeah, just posting more stuff on those social media channels. Maybe once I've given them to people, I'll post the craft I was working on for the holidays because I don't like to give too much of a spoiler away because I'm going to give them to people. But that is my also slight recommendation to you. One, you don't have to get people anything. Sometimes just ask, do they want help doing something? You know, like, do they want someone to hang out with them? That is a gift in and of itself. Also, crafts, people love it when you make something. So there's always also Michael's, a lot of things, not sponsored. A lot of things are on sale right now. So I was like, oh, good. When I was doing my crafts, I was excited when I got the receipt. I was like, oh, this is a lot cheaper than I expected. Good. So yeah, that's my holiday suggestion. Be safe. Have a great holiday season. Message us on the things and make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe. And also we have the NTA
TNB.
Yes, it's the whole thing of this broken down. So NTATNB over on Twitter as well. So thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate all you being there. Yes, happy holidays, and
be safe out there.
Yes, be safe. We'll see you next year. All right, bye.
Bye.